Elbow to the passer's doctor now. He's a tough guy to pass. Bogash has passed the best in his career. He's trying it now. Elbow slows him down, and look at him use that elbow. And the rules say you can use the elbow if you do it right. And Anderson's doing it right. Bogash around the outside.
Hi, I'm Joel, and I hope that in the next 5 minutes you get an idea of how incredible the roller derby really was. Started on a hot August day back in 1935, and my mom and dad were there. They also became two of the most recognized skaters in the derby. They like to think of themselves as true blue athletes, but I secretly know they're responsible for turning it into the outrageous, crazy sport that it became. My mom known as the fighter and my dad known as the villain. And here they are in a recent interview. You got married and...
Oh, God. The only reason he wanted me is because he couldn't get me.
We met going around and around, and we're still going around and around after 50-some years.
60.
60. Well, I said 50-some.
Go ahead, tell him.
Well, you got married, and then how soon before you start having a child?
It's a good thing we were separated for the first 10 days because we didn't have it. It didn't get started till the next month. So I was married. We were married 10 months and 3 days, and I had my first child.
Why were you separated for 10 days?
Because they wouldn't let us sleep together.
You were married?
Yeah. You had a car, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a car. Shut it off for a second.
Mom, how did you hear about the roller derby?
Through Joey Ray, who was an Olympic runner in the 1920s. And I was babysitting 5 of my nephews and nieces one day while their mother went shopping, and he came down to see me. He said, can you skate? And I said, well, I can stand up on them, that's about all. And he said, well, they're having this thing down in Chicago where if you get in, you'll be sponsored. You'll make $12.50 a week. And he said, come on, go with me. I'm going on Sunday. So, boy, I eagerly went because I had just graduated from high school, and I had been hunting for a job, and I would take the test at Sears Roebuck, and the next morning they'd call me when I'm out looking for a job, so I lost it. So I could have been with Sears Roebuck all these years, which is neither here nor there.
And she wouldn't have me, though.
And, you know, then my kids
Look
say, you wouldn't have had all of us
Look
either.
what she would have missed. Not according to her viewpoint, though, yeah.
If you just skated in the derby, you were a plotter. You ran with the pack. If you had a personality and you used it and you caught the crowd's fancy, then you got to be a top skater. And you necessarily didn't have to be the fastest, but you had to have magnetism. It's like the movies. You get some guys that beautiful, good-looking guys. You got other guys who they look like a mud fence.
I just want to show you this real quick. This picture here is you and Joe Nygra here and Wes Aronson.
Yeah.
What's you're wearing white and he's wearing black.
Well, we were kind of the heroes, the white boys, and the ones with the black were the ones that the people decided they didn't care about too much because they were kind of rough on the white shirts.
Did you catch that? Is that true?
Well, Lordy. I was out there skating trying to make some money.
You didn't have to knock me down.
Well, they'd get in our way, you know. We had to do something to get them out of there. If it would be like nobody was looking, why kick them or kick their feet from under them or get them up to the rail but you had to do things like that.
Yeah, but Joe...
Well, you had to be competitive.
You guys were mad because the girls wanted our autographs
and and then, now, like he says, you know, the people decided that they didn't like us because we wore black shirts. Well, tough. But we had our own following. In fact, I remember where it was Cincinnati, where a father and daughter would be there every night. A young girl, about 9 or 10 years, 11 years, whatever. And she was my fan. Every time we appeared in Cincinnati, she was there. And she kept in contact with me, wrote me letters and sent me little gifts. But we had our own following. Besides little kids, we had other people following us too. Well, I don't want to get into that.
1937. Less than 2 years after opening day of the roller derby, tragedy strikes. The bus in which the skaters, their nurse, and her 4-year-old daughter traveled on crashed, killing everyone on board but 3. Roller derby creator Leo Seltzer considered shutting down the derby, but the remaining skaters convinced him to go on. New skaters were trained, and the derby continued setting up the track in every major city across America.
Yeah, your dad, myself, I think it was Stampley and Tommy Atkinson. Your dad had a Ford, and we went from Chicago to Cincinnati. And we went to the show that day. And we got back, what girls were there, they were crying. We went, what's the matter? Did you hear the bus tipped over? We didn't know what happened. Then we heard about the fire, and oh boy. So we were all prepared, well, we were going to go home. Well, they said, well, we'll send you home. And then somebody said, why don't we? They would want to go on, and we figured, the group says, I think they would have wanted us to keep going. So they got some skaters out of the roller rink that they owned in Chicago, and a few others, and we delayed it a few days, and they made a race out of it.
Then in 1958, they shut it down, and a television station was just coming on the air in San Francisco. So I called down. I said, you know, do you mind if I try and operate it? Because the skaters were there. And he said no. So I took a track and put it up in an old garage on East 14th Street in Oakland, put bleachers on one side, and that's where our first telecast came out of. And within a year, this wonderful thing, videotape, was invented by a man named Ginsberg at Ampex in Redwood City. And to really shorten a very long story, within 5 to 6 years, we were syndicating to 110 stations.
And that was another funny thing.
What?
I was doing the shipping of the tapes from my dad's basement. My friend and I, we didn't know anything.
I still can never get over the effect that we have had on so many people without really even knowing it, how we either help shape or reshape their lives, and the same thing coming back to us. The majority, and I mean the greatest majority, there's so much love that comes back from the people who skated. And it you know, we always were kind of a strange thing, a little bit different than football or basketball or almost anything.
We were always available.
Yeah.
It took a very special woman to be in the roller derby. My mom was only 18 when she joined, but she already had incredible strength and stamina.
What's the derby?
You don't know what the roller derby is?
No.
Well, you might be a little younger, remember, but do you like to roller skate?
Yeah.
And what do you like about roller skating?
The wind blowing in my hair.
Well, then you like the speed, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, my mom liked the speed, too. In fact, my mom holds the world's record for the quarter mile, but maybe she could tell us about that.
Where is she?
She's right there.